Yo, we are back with another video. Today we are doing something slow and sexy for all the lovers out there.
Hey.
So I'm drinking on a little mocktail. I love mocktails. This is my mother-in-law makes homemade kombucha. So homemade kombucha, cranberry, and some sparkling water.
Yeah, and I've just got some sparkling water myself. Shout out to Corey for putting us on Topo Chico.
That's right. So you already know what it is. You already see the title. Today we are talking about us, our marriage, what makes us tick, what makes us happy, what makes us us, what we do.
What we do to kind of make sure that, you know, we stay in this thing together and feeling each other.
That's it. Super quick, I want to say thank you so much to our Patreons who have already joined the Patreon. We have 10 so far. It's our goal to get our first 100 Patreons. It really does help us, you know, get more content out more consistently, more high quality, and we are actually going to start putting even more content in our Patreon. One thing that we love to do is watch movies, so we talked about this a while ago that we wanted to start doing like movie reviews and putting that in our Patreon for our members, because we got a lot to say about WandaVision, we got a lot to say about Married at First Sight. So we're gonna start doing like some after show recaps for those things like that and putting it in Patreon, as well as we just did a video about our experience with the Zaxby chicken sandwich, and that was exclusive Patreon content.
Yes.
Without further ado, let's get grown and sexy.
Let's get sexy. So one way that I think one of the most important things that we keep it good together is that we take care of ourselves separately. So whether that means, you know, staying groomed up. If I'm in short hair mode, staying in the barber with Jená, I think that's, you know, pampering herself a little bit, taking care of ourselves, just so we feel good, and then also like we're in a good mental space.
Yeah, because if we feel good about ourselves and we feel sexy within ourselves, then that's just going to naturally exude outward.
Yeah, exactly.
So another thing that we like to do to keep our marriage happy and flowing and going is to travel. It's something about traveling with us. It like heightens our teamwork and like figuring things out together.
Yeah.
Because we like to take fun adventure trips, like driving across country and going to Barbados and Aruba, like figuring that stuff out on our own, figuring out our adventures together. Like something about traveling really bonds us, and
it's something that's always been there for us.
Yeah.
So it's just a fun way that we kind of go at stuff and enjoy new experiences together.
Mm-hmm. And the thing about us is, y'all know, if y'all been following us for a while, we've been on a debt-free journey, and we pretty much at the end. We were traveling even when we didn't have a lot of money. It's things where we were figuring out how to do. Like when we lived in Detroit, we were driving up to Canada when it was cold and seeing like Lake Huron. Like it's just really good for us.
Right. And even recently, like traveling to your own city and like exploring your own city, like that's a thing too. So those staycations that we took recently, definitely a good example of that. Another thing we like to do to keep everything funky is surprise each other. Jená is much better about surprising me than I am about surprising her, but I try. Sometimes I make it all the way to the surprise before I tell her.
Yeah.
Usually not.
Yeah, he gets so excited, like, I gotta tell you what I got.
Yeah, Jená's like surprised me since the jump though. Way back when. Yeah.
I mean, he used to be way better on surprises.
I think that's just a byproduct of us getting married. I mean, like telling you everything now.
Well, not everything, but yeah.
Yeah. It actually goes into our next point.
Right. Which is, we don't keep secrets from each other, but we do. So,
yeah.
What I mean by that is we are very open with each other. We're not hiding, actively trying to hide stuff from one another.
Yeah.
But we don't feel the need to tell one another everything. Like, especially with me, I have friends that tell me things in confidence. I have clients that tell me things in confidence. I don't feel like it's, you know, right or proper or my duty to run back and tell him everything. So in that instance, like, I don't share that with him. So we don't keep secrets from each other, but, you know, we do have some level of autonomy with the things that we know.
Right. I mean, if somebody tells you something in confidence, like we're not going to go run into each other to tell it. But for the most part, we're open about just about everything that happens. And And that way there's no, like, feelings of, like, betrayal of, like, trust that kind of come up, or, like, feelings of, like, being left out. So I think that really is helpful.
Yeah.
It helps with our togetherness.
And that's across the board, with friendships, with money, with sex, with travel, with family, like business, everything. Yeah.
Yeah. Yep. Can I take drinks, or do I have to sip? Okay.
Additionally, we actively work on our relationship, meaning we make time and effort for date night, for having deep intellectual talks with one another, with having light talks with one another. We love to just like cuddle in the bed at night and watch TV. Now, to say, like, we're not perfect with that. We were better with that when we were in Detroit, and then we came back to Memphis and kind of fell into the routine of being here, and we like fell off of that on top of the pandemic. That's one reason we did those staycations that we share with y'all. But we actively think about our relationship. We actively work on our relationship,
and not just like with date nights, but with going to therapy individually and making sure like we stay good internally. And we talked about doing couples therapy, but we both agreed that it was smarter for us to start individually and work out those issues first. But I feel like that, even that, working on yourself is a form of, working on our marriage, because I want to show up to the marriage as my best self. And then additionally, Jená and I took a marriage workshop in Detroit and met some awesome people, and really like gained some good tools and ways that we could communicate with each other better. And I think that's always been like one of the things that I wanted to work on more with our relationship. So marriage workshops, therapy definitely helped. Yeah,
which the therapy thing kind of goes into the next point, which is we talk about divorce.
Yeah, I mean, and not like that. Y'all are gonna say run to the comments and do this, but we talk about it in a way of like what we need from each other in this marriage for it to work.
Yes.
We address that. An outcome of any marriage, which this marriage is any marriage, could be divorce. Right? If I'm acting crazy, if Jená's acting crazy, there's a very like deep subject, but there's always the opportunity of like what could drive us to divorce.
Right. Because at the end of the day, we love each other like deeply and like on another level. But that's also knowing that we are free will beings. We are free moral agents. At any point, John can, make a decision that could devastate our relationship. I can make a decision that could devastate our relationship. I don't think I will. He doesn't think he will, right? But
we don't think each other will.
Right. But in also us talking about divorce, it's kind of like it puts us back in the mind frame of we continue to date our spouse.
Right. We work for each other.
Yeah. Like I had standards of what I wanted in a mate before we started dating, and I still have standards of what I want in a mate even though we're dating and married. So I want to feel pretty to my husband. I want to feel admired. I want to feel like when he look at me, he like, man, whew. Like I still want to feel those things. I want to be desired and sought after and chased after in my marriage, and he knows that. And the reason that he knows that is because in those conversations where it's like, okay, what would drive us, what potentially would drive us to divorce, so we can be aware of what the other person needs. And it really, kind of even lends itself to knowing each other's love language. But what does the other person need in this marriage to feel seen, heard, loved, and, appreciated?
Right. Find what that potential wedge could be and make sure you eliminate it before it gets deep, if it's already started, or before it starts. So yeah, that's a big one.
Also, John and I aren't perfect.
Yeah.
This by no means is us saying that we are perfect. We have the perfect relationship, that we get everything right, that we never argue, that we never fuss, that we're never disappointed at each other, that we never, don't need space and time away from each other to think because, I've said something that hurt his feelings or vice versa. We're not perfect beings, but we found that with us, when we do these things, we solid.
Yeah.
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 Ding, ding. Sexy time.
Grown and sexy time. This video's new Subbie Shoutout goes out to Tiffany Desiree and Nancy and Sandro at Nancy Sandro Club. If you want to be featured in a future video's new Subbie Shoutout, hop down in the comments and let us know you're new to the channel. So one thing also that we do on a lighter note is we joke non-stop. We have jokes
for days.
We got jokes for years, baby. We got so many jokes.
A ton of insiders.
Yeah. Because we're always doing stuff that we enjoy together.
Yes.
I think it's like goes hand in hand. We have fun together, and that's it. And the reason that we have fun together is one of the reasons that we have fun together is because we find like shared interests that we have, and we spend that time together. So I know that we really enjoy. Jená's obviously an active queen, so from like the jump, when I was $130, like she had me in the gym with her, and it wasn't like as frequent as it is now. We've grown to enjoy working out together, but that's something that we enjoy. And like training for the marathon, like that, being active together, watching movies, watching our TV shows, like sci-fi movies are our jam. We find those common things that we enjoy, and we laugh and laugh. We can laugh about anything.
Yeah, and we don't push each other to do stuff outside of that. So like we have, like if it's a whole diagram, the Venn diagram with it point is in the middle, that's our common interest. And the things that we have that's common interest, we dig into those things. Like he said, we love working out together now. We love watching movies together. We love watching Marvel movies together. So the things that we love doing together, we go hard in the paint for those things. And the things that we don't care, like he loves video games. I gave it a go. I know y'all saw that vlog a while ago when I tried playing the video games with him and it didn't turn out good.
Another time, we'll get there.
I'll link it in the cards, but he loves video games. I let him do his thing. You want to play video games for 3-4 hours? Baby, have at it. Like, and for me, I love watching YouTube videos. And he let me get deep into YouTube. And he like, baby, you want to watch YouTube videos? Go ahead. So we don't force each other to do everything together. What we like doing separately, we like doing separately. We keep it that way. But the things we like doing together, we go hard in the paint for.
Yeah, I think it's just that freedom and trust that like we have towards each other. Like we communicate, we're honest, we're open. Like if I feel slighted with time, I'll tell Jená like, hey, I feel like you've been in YouTube all day, or I feel like you've been doing this all day. Can we get some us time?
Yeah.
Can we be together? Can I get some time with my woman?
I'm sorry.
And let's be honest, she lets me know the same thing.
Yeah, when I'm like, okay, it's time to put that controller down.
Yeah, I don't just play video games all day.
It's time for grown folks stuff.
Thanks. Yeah, so we find our shared interests and we dig deep into those, and we also dig deep into our non-shared interests, and we enjoy those, and we allow each other to be free.
Ding. Also, we bear our soul to one another. John knows so much about me. Kind of going back to what we talked about earlier in that marriage workshop that we did in Detroit. Like, I told John some secrets that I had never told anybody. Like, he knows the deepest, darkest parts of me, my life. He knows how I feel. He knows. I share that with him. So that contributes to our connection, contributes to our intimacy, contributes to the health of our marriage. And I would say that.
Yeah, you know all my stuff. You know all my secrets, all my
hard stuff,
private stuff. Yeah, all the stuff I've been through. I shared that with Jená.
Yeah.
And that just, there's no like wall between us.
Yeah.
Because of that.
Right. And we don't use that.
Exactly.
Even when we mad and yelling at each other and in arguments or heated moments, we don't ever throw that in each other's face.
We would never.
We don't. We can get mean to each other, but we never hit below the belt.
Yeah, that's.
I don't think we've ever hit below the belt.
I don't think we have either.
Look at us! I never realized that until now. Like, yeah, we don't hit below the belt like that.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah,
that's good. So another thing is we're just brutally honest with each other, like intimately and like the most level of honest with each other. Even in the sense of like, if I tell Jená this, I know it might hurt her feelings a little bit, but she needs to hear it. That sort of brutal honesty.
He rebuked me the other day, y'all. Like, straight out rebuked me. I was getting ready to say something.
I rebuke you.
And it hurt my feelings. He said, I'm sorry. But then I was like, once I had a moment to sit down and think about it, I was like, John, you was right. Like, it's a scripture and a passage in the Bible. It's just like, sometimes when someone rebukes you, sometimes you need to take the rebuke, because the reason he rebuked me is because I was about to say something out of fear and out of doubt. And he rebuked it like straight out of my mouth. And it hurt my feelings and it made me mad. But like I said, when I calmed down, I was just like, I came back and I was like, you was right to rebuke me.
Yeah. So that's it. I mean, like, that's just an example, but that brutal honesty is, and it's not always brutal honesty.
Right.
Sometimes it's just honest.
Sometimes it's sweet honest. Sometimes it's gentle and patient honest. But sometimes it is, I rebuke thee.
But we don't.
Satan.
Yeah, we don't lie to each other.
Yeah.
We don't have like white lies.
Right.
We don't have little half truths. We tell each other stuff. And if we're gonna keep a secret, we keep it a secret. We don't like tease it out there. Mm-hmm. So that the other person's like curious and like doubts start creeping in or anything like that. Mm-hmm. We're honest and we share what needs to be shared, what doesn't need to be shared. Mm-hmm. We keep that private, but honesty is key.
And I think that's one thing that sometimes when I say something, John be like, Jená, do you really mean that? And I literally am like, John, when have I...
all the time. She says this all the time.
I said, John, when have I never not kept it 100 with you? Mm-hmm. When have I ever said something just to stroke your ego like that, or like to make you feel a certain way? Yeah. And every time I say that, it brings it back to his remembrance, and he like...
Yep.
So when I say stuff, I'm straight up with you. So when I say stuff, he know it. If I'm like, baby, you look good today, he know I mean it.
I thought you were about to say, baby, you look.
If I say, baby, you looking crusty today.
You looking crusty.
Yeah, so me being honest with him has allowed him to trust my word.
Mm-hmm. And vice versa. Mm-hmm. Vice versa. Mm-hmm. You better not give me no pink lip. I love you. You looking good.
Thank you. If you're curious about this pink lip, I'm going to leave a link to this lip in the description box below. So check the description box below. I would say areas in our marriage that we are working on, even though we're actively working on every part, is we do want more accountability in our relationship. Like, therapy is obviously a form of accountability that we have, but we want more accountability with other like married couples. So that's something that we've been praying about and actively talking about. Like, how can we introduce accountability for me as a wife and him as a husband? Because I can remember listening to a podcast, 30 Minutes with the Perrys, and I can remember when he was saying how he had fell into pornography, and how his brothers in Christ would like check on him, like, hey, how are you doing? Yeah. So people that we can have outside of each other, that we can be like, hey, sis, I'm struggling with angry thoughts toward my husband, or I'm struggling with lust, or I'm struggling with finances, or I feel like my husband is that, like somebody that we can each go to. Right.
And not instead of going to your mate, because obviously that's where you start.
Right.
But sometimes you need like some other
extra accountability. Yeah. And we're always working on each other, always working to love each other more, to be patient with each other more. Like I said before, we're not perfect.
Yeah, I think like the biggest thing is, and it's especially for me, is just communicating and like being more vocal with Jená about what I need, how she makes me feel, this or that. Like, it's always that. Mm-hmm. More communication. Mm-hmm. And I think that's probably, I'm generalizing here, but I think that's a problem with a lot of men in marriages, especially with like our society and the way it tries to like bottle you up into this strong man, and maybe even more so in the black community. But that's something that I need to continuously grow in, is being more vocal with Jená. Yeah. She lets me know what she needs all the time. Yeah. And I've got to do a better job of that with her.
Yeah. Because I let him know, like, you don't have to worry about if you're too honest with me or too real with me, or if you share everything that you're feeling with me, that's going to scare me, that's going to make me think less of you, that's going to make me look at you like less of a man. That, like, I have assured him, like, you can bear everything to me, and it's not going to make me run away, and it's not going to make me love you any less.
Right. Help us reach our goal. Be one of our first 100 patrons. We'll link the card up here. Let us know in the comments what you do in your marriage or what you will do in your marriage to just really check your box to make sure that you're keeping things fresh and healthy.
Yeah. Like I said, this lip color, I'm going to leave a link in the description box below. Be sure to check the description for all of our things, including our newsletter, where you can sign up. Until next time, bye.
Be blessed.
Be blessed. Oh, sexy time. I'm out. I got a little sweet. Hold on.
Oh.
Okay. We going on a date, right?